The moment it hurts, you disappear. Not physically. You're still right there, in the room, nodding along. But something behind your eyes steps back and closes a door, and the person who hurt you is suddenly talking to a polite stranger wearing your face. They can feel it happen. They just can't follow you in. They ask what's wrong. You say nothing's wrong. It's the truest lie you tell. Because in that moment, you couldn't explain what's wrong even if you wanted to. The words are gone. The hurt is loud and the language for it is missing, and the only thing your body knows how to do is go still and wait for the danger to pass. What looks like the silent treatment from the outside is something almost opposite on the inside. And the reason you vanish instead of speak goes back further than the person standing in front of you. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where the door came from and how to leave it open. The silence didn't start as a choice. It started as protection. Somewhere back there, you learned that being heard out loud didn't go well. Maybe you tried, as a kid, to say that hurt me and got met with anger, or denial, or a parent who turned your pain into your fault. Maybe you watched what happened when someone in the house did express hurt, and the whole place got worse, and you decided quietly never to be the one who set that off. Maybe no one was cruel at all. Maybe expressing pain just never got a response, so the part of you that would have spoken up slowly stopped bothering. However it happened, a small person came to a conclusion that their hurt was not safe to show, that the people who were supposed to receive it would do something with it other than hold it, minimize it, weaponize it, walk away from it, drown it out. So that child built a door, and every time pain showed up, they learned to step behind it, not to punish anyone. To survive a world where pain, expressed, seemed to cost more than pain hidden, the door worked. That's the hard part. It protected a child who had no other defense. The trouble is that the child grew up, found people who would actually be gentle with their hurt, and the door by then had become automatic. It still slams shut at the first sign of pain, long after the danger that built it is gone. From the outside, this silence almost always gets read as a weapon. The person who loves you watches you go quiet and feels a wall come up, and walls feel like punishment. So they reach for the words they have for it. You're shutting me out. You're giving me the silent treatment. You're being cold. They experience your withdrawal as something being done to them. A deliberate freeze, a way of making them feel small until they apologize for something they can't even name. And here's the cruel mechanics of it. The more they push to get back in, the further behind the door you go. They read the retreat as confirmation that you're stonewalling on purpose. You read their pushing as more danger arriving, exactly the danger the door was built to keep out. Two people who might love each other very much end up locked in a loop where one chases and one vanishes, and neither can see what the other is actually doing. Because what they're calling coldness is usually the opposite of coldness. The person behind the door isn't feeling nothing. They're feeling so much that the system overloaded and shut the doors to keep from flooding. There's a name for that overload, emotional flooding, when feeling comes in faster and bigger than the body can process, and the nervous system protects itself by going numb and quiet. The stillness isn't the absence of emotion. It's the body standing in front of too much of it. That's the part nobody in the argument can see. From across the room, a shutdown person and an indifferent person look identical. Inside, they couldn't be more different. One has stopped caring. The other cares so much they've lost access to their own words. What's actually happening in the moment of going quiet is closer to a circuit breaker than a decision. When the hurt lands, the body reads it as a threat, not consciously, but in the old, fast part of the brain that doesn't know the difference between a critical partner and a genuine predator. That part has 3 settings: fight, flight, and the one nobody talks about, freeze. Some people, when threatened, get loud, some people leave. And some people go still and silent and small, because somewhere in their history, stillness was the thing that kept them safest. If you go quiet when you're hurt, freeze is your setting. It was likely set early, in a situation where fighting back wasn't allowed and running away wasn't possible. The only survivable option left was to disappear in place. So that's what your body learned. And it learned it so well that it still fires now, in the safety of your own kitchen, with someone who would never have hurt the child you were. There's a second thing happening underneath the freeze, quieter and sadder. In the moment of hurt, a lot of these people genuinely cannot find their feelings in words. The hurt is real and physical, a tightness, a heat, a heaviness. But the translation from sensation into language goes offline. Someone asks what's wrong, and the honest answer is that you don't know yet, because the part of you that names things has gone quiet along with the rest. This is why just tell me what's wrong never works. It's asking someone to read aloud from a page that's temporarily blank. The words aren't being withheld. In that moment, they don't exist. Which raises the harder question. If the silence was built to protect you, why does it keep hurting the very people you'd never want to lose? There's something genuinely valuable buried in this pattern, and it's worth seeing before you try to change it. The person who goes quiet when hurt is almost never the person who says the cruel thing in the heat of the moment. While the people who fight when wounded are throwing words they'll spend weeks taking back, you've gone still, and that stillness has saved you from 1,000 sentences you'd have regretted. You don't scorch the earth. You don't aim for the soft spot you know would land. The freeze that costs you connection also protects everyone around you from the worst version of your pain. There's a deeper strength too. People who learn to sit alone with overwhelming feeling often develop a real capacity to hold it without being destroyed by it. They can carry a hurt for days, turning it over, feeling its full weight, without collapsing or exploding. That's a kind of emotional stamina most loud people never build, because they discharge everything immediately and never learn to sit with anything. And there's a quieter gift in it. You don't go quiet and then leave. You go quiet and stay. The door closes, but your feet don't move. For all the pain the silence causes, it has almost never been abandonment. Behind it is someone who keeps choosing to stay, and to the right person, once they understand it, that turns out to be everything. But strength built around a closed door has a catch. The same composure that keeps you from saying the cruel thing also keeps you from saying the true thing. You protect the people you love from your worst, and accidentally protect them from your real too. They never get the cruel words. They also never get the honest ones. And a person who only ever receives your silence eventually stops knowing you're in there at all. If this is you, the way through isn't to force yourself to talk in the moment the door slams. You can't. The words aren't there yet, and demanding them from yourself just adds shame to the hurt. The way through is to build a small bridge across the silence instead of trying to tear the door down. It can be almost nothing. A single sentence, learned ahead of time for the moment you feel yourself going. I'm hurt and I can't talk about it yet, but I'm not leaving. That one line changes everything, because it tells the person across from you the truth your silence was hiding. That you haven't gone cold, you've gone quiet, and you're coming back. It turns a slammed door into a closed one with a note pinned to it. They can wait at a closed door. It's the slammed one that breaks them. Then, when the flooding passes, and it does pass usually faster than you fear, go back. Not to perform an explanation, but to let them in now that the words have returned. Here's what hurt me earlier. This is the part the old pattern insists is dangerous. Do it anyway, once with someone who has earned it, and watch what happens. Most of the time, the danger the door was built to keep out simply isn't there anymore. The person doesn't weaponize it. They just look relieved to finally have you back. Here's the thing the child behind the door never got to learn. Your hurt was always allowed to take up space. The silence wasn't a flaw in you. It was a solution to a problem you no longer have. The people worth keeping don't want your composure. They want the messy, wordless, still figuring it out truth of you. They've been standing outside that door for years, and they're not going anywhere. You can let them in now, slowly, one sentence at a time. If any of this met you somewhere quiet, leave a comment and consider subscribing. There will be more like it.